Now, I don't say this lightly, but I believe Ichigo has the potential to be the strongest unit in Anime Vanguards. I'm already seeing people wanting buffs for him. I do not think he needs it. I will be showing you the Shiny Monarch Ichigo and how you're supposed to use him, and why I think he has potentially the strongest unit passive in the game. So, I have my Ichigo here, Monarch, Shiny, of course. And on placement, he's only dealing about 2,500 damage. This doesn't really seem that impressive, definitely for a Monarch unit. However, this is where his passives comes in. Ichigo has two passive. The first one is being number 1. For every missing stock, his damage will increase by 20%, and his range by 10. Anytime a stock is removed, his next attack will deal 500% damage. Now this gets a little more complex with his second one. Save the AV Society. Basically, if another unit has an ability or passive that requires a unit to be a part of a certain group or category, Ichigo will automatically be assigned that category, and he will gain whatever buff or passive that category and group would be given. He gains it himself. This gives Ichigo a huge, and I do mean huge, wide range of versatility, and I think in the long run, the more units they add with hyper-specific categories and groups, Ichigo will only get buffed in. In other words, this is a long-term unit. You want to invest in Ichigo for the future updates. I'll show you why very shortly, but let's finish this first passive. Basically, for every upgrade this unit gains, it will increase the range and bonus he gets from his first passive by 5 and 2.5% respectively. If we look real quick, Ichigo has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ichigo has 10 upgrades. Meaning that we go back to his first passive. If you fully upgrade Ichigo before you lose any stocks, every time you lose a stock, he will gain 70% damage and 35% range. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade Ichigo very slowly here. This is his new move. He gains big purple explosion. I won't be talking about any of these moves in depth. They're all spoilers for Core 4 of the anime. Here's his... should be a bunch of rocks. Yep. There you go. That's what that looks like. And finally, his last move. And I'll be honest, this circle AoE is not very good looking, but he more than makes up for it in terms of damage. So without losing any stocks, you're looking at that DPS and it looks kind of pitiful. Definitely for a Monarch unit, 11,000 damage, basically 12,000 damage. That's not good. However, this is where I think he really shines. Let's go ahead and remove 2 stocks. And because I am in sandbox mode, the stocks won't go down. But if I do this, as you can see, he gained 35. So, as I said earlier, he would gain 70%. As you can see, he's at 0.7 right now. And that instantly bumped his damage to 20,000 damage. Instantly. Now, if I remove another stock here, that would give him another... Oh, it's exponential. Okay. So that's gonna give him a maximum damage of 28,000 damage per second. However, we're not done yet. Remember his second passive. For anything that listed in his group or category, he gains that buff. So we can actually go ahead and place down Ishtar here. And Ichigo is gonna get that passive because Ishtar buffs all Fate's units. Which means Ichigo is actually gonna jump up to 30,000 damage per second. Now, I actually don't know any units off the top of my head that buff category currently besides Ishtar. However, I'm sure in the future we're going to be getting a lot more. Now, one thing that I will critique about Ichigo that I thought would be a given is that I thought, because of his second passive here, that anything that requires a group or category, he would be included as. Like, he's already that. Actually, I was hoping that he would be counted as a corrupted unit. Because that's technically a group of units. Basically, if a unit is not corrupted, they gain a 15% debuff, a 0.15% debuff on their attack speed. Ichigo sadly does not count it as a corrupted unit, so you cannot use him with Saber here. You have to use him separately, which I think is a shame. I would have loved him if he was able to combo with Saber. I think that would have instantly put him in SSS tier. However, as it is now, I've already tested this as well. If you're wondering, is Death's ability, does that work with him? No. As Death's ability actually does not work with Ichigo's. Ichigo, so when you use S-Def's, so when you use S-Def's active ability, they're supposed to take more damage from Passion and I believe Water. Not Water, yeah, Passion and Water Towers. Ichigo sadly does not deal more damage during that ability, and I cannot think of anyone else that gives buffs to units near them that are a specific category. Actually, I wonder if... Sorry, I'm doing on-the-fly testing real quick. Does Gilgamesh get debuffed by Ichigo? Let me, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and delete, Ishtar there. Like, units. Gilgamesh. Okay, so Ichigo does also debuff Gilgamesh. I don't think anyone else buffs units. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the description. But I think I'm gonna show it. I think Ichigo right now may be a little underwhelming. However, in the long term, I believe he might become one of the strongest units. Once more units get added that require specific groups or specific, you know, categories of units, Ichigo is gonna inherently get buffed through that. On top of, and I haven't seen Orihime, but I believe Orihime is supposed to be able to add stocks to your life. I'm about to find out in about 6 minutes here as a recording. But if she can, so imagine this: you have Orihime. In theory, if she can restore stocks, and I'm sure in the future they're gonna add a unit that can restore stocks. So we could do something like this even. Like, even if like we get one stock back, and that's all Orihime can return, that buffs Ichigo so much. So really, all we need is a unit that can take away stocks and return them. And Ichigo is massively buffed that way. So, like I said at the start, I think Ichigo is a long-term investment. Should you get him? Absolutely. Do you need him right now? I don't think so. I think there's probably other units you can get right now in the update. But damn, I love Ichigo. So I got him first. And later today, later tonight, I'm probably gonna go get Gazelle. So my next video is gonna be on Gazelle. Keep an eye out for that. Probably not gonna get Monarch on them. I kinda got really lucky here with Ichigo. I don't normally get Monarchs. So, bye-bye.